Now if it's the same footage again. Ah, here it is.
中島千春です。今回皆さんにご報告、発表があります。今回私は、女子フィジークのカテゴリーでずっとやってきたんですけど、今回レベルを上げてボディビルに挑戦することを決めました。この競技をやる上で、私はもういつかボディビルをやってみたいっていう気持ちがずっと兼ねてからあって、女子フィジークを挑戦するときも、日本では日本の女子選手が世界で女子フィジークで戦うの無理だよ、勝てないっていうことをずっと言われていて、でそれでも今回、女子フィジークでシカゴプロで戦ったときに、日本人でも戦えるなっていうことを実感しました。このラスベガスにいる期間中に、ボディビルに対するやっぱ思いが強くなってきて、もうやるなら今だというような気持ちになって挑戦することを決めました。ボディビルは飯島入江さんの30年以来の挑戦で、現役選手としては私一人になります。この挑戦は一人では戦えなくて、コーチの山岸さんだったり、あとオーディションを見てくれるトレーナー、あとはトレーニングパートナー、チーム一丸となって挑んでいく競技になります。本当に戦ってみないと、舞台に立ってみないとわからないので、もしかしたら負けるかもしれないし、どうなるかわかりませんけど、私はもうこのやりたかったボディビルに後悔しないように挑戦したいと思います。皆さん、8月8日、ボディビルに挑戦する中島千春をぜひ見届けてください。応援よろしくお願いします。
Well, she has, wow, look at her. She has great muscle density. I think it's a good move for her. She was 6 days out when she did this video. I think one thing is, yes, being competitive in the bodybuilding division, it can be tough, especially for a woman. She has, I would say, a good physique. She has a good structure. I think one thing she might need to build on is maybe a little more size, especially in the quads and upper bodies. But honestly, yeah, this is, I would say, women's bodybuilding. She has a great personality about her. Here she is getting her nail done. when I saw that she said she's 50 years old, I said, what? Because she looks like she's a lot younger. I mean, Black people and I think Asian people, we age differently than the unmelanated. We don't. I think Hideki look like he might be in 60s, but maybe he's actually in 70s. You never know. But this is the subject is about. We're seeing now how bodybuilding at one point was very exclusively American. I would say exclusively American because it was also in Europe too. But America has always been the forefront of the sport. I have some guests here sitting in the waiting here. First off, we have my nephew. He has some great news. A while back, my man Alex here, he was part of a little video that was made by Paula Ranta. He has a little scene in it. So if you want to check it out, you can go to Paula's. I think it's on her YouTube and her IG too.
Yep. Well, I mean, I haven't got the link for it, but yeah. Actually, I want to give a huge shout out to Josh from the Empire Nation, who I hear he's not going to be. I mean, sorry, from the women from the you know what I'm talking about. Josh was Simpson. He won't be here today, but I want to give him a shout out for sharing me that video. That really made my night because I remember Paul. I remember Paul recording me, and I asked her. I messaged her like when are you gonna send it out, and she never responded. But then sometime later she did, and I got so busy I didn't recognize it. It was so amazing that I was able to chat with this one competitor who I knew made the transition so soon, but really took me and everybody by surprise. And now she's already heading to the Olympia. I'm really proud of Paula. Thank you, Josh, for sending me, and thank you, Paula, for interviewing me. I hope I wish you lots on. It's a tough competition, but I think you'll do your best.
All right. And next up we have here my man KL the Wanderer. He's on board here. We hadn't seen him in quite some time. Welcome back, brother.
What's up?
Yeah. And this is something
I can't hear you loud enough. I don't know if it's my
You got your headphones?
No, I don't have headphones. Usually this be working perfectly. I don't know. Maybe I should hop on my phone.
Yeah.
I
Well, you
hear
want, yeah,
you,
go
but
ahead.
not loud enough.
Yeah. Well, you can you hear me, Alex?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is something. One time, KL did a thing about the Asian women in bodybuilding, and this is, I would say, this is his wheelhouse. You know, he's a big fan, and we have interviewed quite a few ladies of Asian descent. A good list of them. I mean, ladies like can't forget Maria Lieberman, Abby Jimenez, Big Jane Akapichi's been a guest on here a couple of times. Can't forget my recent interview with Yuki. She's a figure competitor, also from Japan. Also Roxy Thunder, who's a wellness amateur from the Philippines. She lives in the States, but originally from the Philippines. And it seems like in the last few years, not just divisions like typically you might see a woman of Asian descent in like figure bikini or excuse me fit model, but you see them coming into divisions as far as wellness, uh, physique, and even women's bodybuilder. Like I think one lady that you're a big fan of is Lily Dong. She's a wellness competitor. I think from China. And I mean, you know, so what do you think? What are your thoughts on Lily?
I don't have no thoughts right now on that. On her. I mean, yeah. I mean, I seen her. She got thick quads, and that's it. I don't. I mean, outside of that, I don't really have much like that. I done never really seen her compete. You know, I just see her mostly on Instagram. I haven't really been like focusing on her like that. So
Well, Lily has been a two-time Olympian. I think she competed, I believe, last year at the Olympia, and that was always what astonished me that she's Asian and she has fared well against women, probably um, Latina, Black, or even some white women, and still was able to get Olympic qualification twice. I mean, she has a great look to her. I think she's a very popular competitor. I think the last time she was active, I believe, was last year. You know, she's on social media quite a bit. I mean, and when I saw her, I said, you sure she's Chinese? I mean, I'm looking at the glutes, and I'm saying, I might think maybe Filipino or Thai, because those women are kind of thick.
yeah, Korean women mostly too. They. I mean,
Mhm.
she works out on her legs. I mean, she got a as a. I mean, there's another she's not wellness, but she's a physique competitor. Olivia Bien, she's thick. You
Oh,
know,
we oh
I
yeah
mean, there's
yeah
Chinese women that's thick. I mean, but it ain't. And I don't know if it's a whole lot, but I've seen some thick Chinese women, but it ain't
yeah
like showcased as much.
yeah. Olivia Bean, she's been an Olympian herself. She's been competing for game quite some time. She last competed last year. She did a couple of shows. She usually does pretty good coming to the states, but I think there was an issue with her with a passport that she didn't compete. She did compete in Toronto one year, and she did a show, I believe, in Spain or Portugal. But yeah, I follow her. She's funny. I like some of the stuff she does. Like here she is she's very popular in China. She does a lot of stuff. Right here, she does a little. She's in the middle of a fight camp. She's training with a trainer. I mean, and she's got, like I said, I think because she's a little bit shorter, she can really put on the muscle. You know, being a boxer, two different levels because it takes a lot of blood and oxygen to fuel the body with that much muscle.
Yeah, that's cool that she boxing.
Yeah, and also she does a little. She's working on a little ballerina. Right here. I'm showing here. You know,
Yeah, I
you
seen
know,
that one.
yeah, something
Yeah, that's
different.
where
I
you see
mean,
the thickness on her legs.
Yeah, there's some ballerinas that got some legs, not as thick as hers, but yeah, because you have
Yeah.
to stand and spin and twirl and you know, but she has a great personality about her. She actually have fun, and most recently she has added some new accoutrements to her overall physique. you know, I think it was like a little bit. I think when the end of last year, no, it was the first of this year, I believe. She had gotten a boob job, you know. But I think it gives her body as a more of a complete build than than it was before. But she looks really good. I think if she's competing this year, I'm not certain because the season's about over. There's only a handful of shows left, and if she can't compete over here in the U.S., there's like not that many shows overseas. But she has a great personality. We got some comments here in the comment section. Shout out to my guest here who came through. We got here shout to Jeff. Jeff is in the building as usual. Says, hey George, happy Monday. I may be joining a new gym for a personal trainer to work on abs. I will be using the chat today. Okay. Also, we have here Emmanuel. He's just popped in and says, "Hey George, hope you are well. This sounds like an interesting topic. It is. I think people would dig into it. Also, shout out to my man here. Ken says, well deserved. Congratulations to Alita. Yeah. And also he says this. He says, Yuri Imajima, if I think I got the name wrong, apologize. Is awesome. First female Japanese bodybuilder. Well, she wasn't the first. Well, she was the first in the IFBB. There was a lady, and she was that movie with Sammo Hung. She was the one who does the flexing, you know, and he
Oh,
punched
I
her.
know who you're talking about. I forgot her name.
Yeah, I forgot her name too. And she actually competed mostly as an amateur in Japan, and she was one of
Yeah.
the handful of women done it for a good while. I follow her on social media. Also, his son, he also, he trains and competes a bit. He talks about his mom, how back in the day she started her own gym. Her and her brother, they were working out training people, and then she got into movies, and and then after that, when I think it was the bubble for the movies in Japan, Hong Kong kind of slowed down a bit, and then she kind of moved on to her life, and then had a son and got married, and stay active and training. I mean, she's nearly 70. She still looks good for her age. I mean, staying fit.
I think her name is Nico Misho. Wait, I don't want to butcher her name, but it's me Chico, Michiko.
Can you tap in the
Yeah.
chat so I can see if I can copy it and see if I can find her because I know she's on IG, but you know, but there's so many women who compete in the sport that come from countries from as China to Singapore, Thailand. As you know, Big Jane, who's been a guest on the channel, as you know, we're talking, because Jane is right now she's vacationing back in Thailand, and she is not, actually Big Jane is the second, woman from Thailand who competes. There was
Her
another
name is
lady.
Michiko Nishiwaki. Waki.
Well, you might want to type in the chat so I can copy it. Maybe I can find her
Oh,
because
all right, my
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. 'Cause, you try to tell me your name. I ain't try. I'm not good. Yeah, I'm not good at spelling. But yeah,
What
but
about
Big Jane has been a guest on this channel. I mean, she turned pro like about 3 years ago, and impressive lady. She made a pro debut in 2024. Uh, I'm hoping to see her, uh, compete sometime soon. She last competed was the Toronto Super Show back in 2025, and coming from Thailand, growing up in the States. At one point, she was living in Florida for a little bit with her mother and stepfather, but she has a great personality. She's very, I would say it's not typical of you say about Asian women. She's very demure, But as you know, she was here a while back because she hung out with Sheena Olick, Jessica Cole. There's also Teresa Vasic, Janine Lakowski, and also Heather Taylor. Heather Taylor, and they did a little event for Bikini Labs because I think they all sponsored competitors. And and she has really has grown in a process as a bodybuilder. And both of us have interviewed her, Big J.
What about Marilyn Yee? Does she count?
Yes, she counts. Because Marilyn, she's been a guest on my channel, and as you know, Marilyn has really come a long way. She's originally from Hong Kong, and she was very close to getting her Olympic qualification last year at the Steve Carr show. She's working with Michaela Aycock in her training. I was hoping to see her maybe do Atlanta, but she's on the list for the Rising Phoenix. And as you know, the Rising Phoenix is coming up in a couple of weeks. Marilyn's story of when she originally grew up in Hong Kong. She went through a lot as a kid, come to the States. She is also one thing about Marilyn. She's a hairdresser, and she does a lot of makeup stuff too. She has a very strong personality about Marilyn. I mean, but her physique is crazy. I mean, coming so close to getting your Olympic qualification because she was up against Ashley Jones, who's #2 in the world in women's bodybuilding at the Olympia.
I know she at one point she did like MMA, but she stopped.
Yeah, she trained good, but I think she still trains in it, but she doesn't do it as often because, as you know, with bodybuilding, you gotta be careful. Training mixed martial arts can be tough because you can get injured if you're not careful, or you can pull something. But she looks really good. I know recently she was living in California, but I heard that she moved to Texas. And that's a different spot. One thing I wish Texas did have was maybe more opportunities for women bodybuilders. But Marilyn, like I said again, she's a very impressive physique. Now I saw this post that it was posted on another site. If I remember, it's called. Excuse me, I'll pull it up real quick. I had it on here. Give me a second. It's in a minute. Give me a second. It was here. Let me see. Just had it. Here it is. It's from a site called Diva of Muscle, and you have a myriad of women bodybuilders, female bodybuilders that compete in figure in the from Asia. Here's this one lady here. Her name is Kazuta, and she's been competing for a while. She's also a Masters Olympian, and I think she competed last year because this is they had the Masters Olympic last year in Japan, and it looked like it was a great experience, to go there. And some ladies, they enjoyed it, other than the fact that the promoter, he kind of shit the winners on their prize money. But it's just very impressive. She's come here to compete in the States, and here she is training. And it's really amazing how a country like Japan is very traditional, but bodybuilding has got himself a foothold in it. I mean, I knew one lady I interviewed a while back, Carol Ung. She got a pro card there a few years ago, and Carol lives in Singapore. It's a lot closer for her to go to a show in Japan than go all the way to the States or any show in Europe to get a qualification. But she looks very impressive, and here she is. I think that's with Hideki. Hideki is a very popular Japanese bodybuilder to compete in the States for a long time. He does 212 that year. I think he won the title. And here she is with Iris Kyle, who is the 10-time Miss Olympia champion, and there's another Japanese competitor. And it's really, again, it has really blown up the last few years. We've seen women from countries like Japan and China and that's North Korea, South Korea, Singapore, Thailand, the Philippines, coming into the sport, which is something is very not traditional, because the tradition of many of the Asian and some other countries is that women are seen not to be heard. So anyway, here my man sent me. Let me see. I can pull her up here. Yes, thank you. So let me see. I can pull her up because she competed good part of the early '90s and '70s. Let me see. And I'm going to pull her up her second. Yes, here she is. And we'll pull her up here. And this is her IG, established by her son. And her son, they work and train together. This is back in the day when she was competitive. This is from one of her early movies. The legacy has here. And here's her son talking about her mother.
Opened one of the first co-ed gyms in Japan in Ikebukuro in 1981 for women to train at as well. And you called it Fitness Club Miss and Mr. Unicorn. A picture from then.
Face.
And that's you back then. Sugoi ne. On the back here, you can see the little mini map showing how to get there. That's your brother, Kiyoaki-san. And then the t-shirts. And so we're bringing back a new version of the t-shirts on the front. Kata o yabure, which is break the mold. So this is the heavyweight one. It doesn't come cut like this. We have posters. So we also have these posters, and then we have this same one in pink. This is our Sumiye poster, and this is our pillar poster. This is the Nishiwaki symbol here on the shirt. That's our Nishiwaki stamp. That's directly from this calligraphy that you made. She's a professional calligraphy teacher. Bodybuilding ticket, bodybuilding show. Make sure to comment unicorn down below.
Break the mold, kata o yabure.
Leave a legacy. You and your...
Yeah, she left a legacy. She was an actress, performer. She was one of the handful of women that competed in bodybuilding, especially in the early 80s. This is her son to 2026. This year, this is her 1982. Wow, 82. Seemed like it's. I was 8 years old. Just no, 7 about to be 8. And she looked amazing. I mean, she had a great look to her, great physique. And this is, I think, opened the door for a lot of women to get into bodybuilding. Her training, also what her and son are doing, opened the door for a revive of her career. I think it's amazing, and I think women like her will really be the blueprint for a lot of competitors. This is a scene from the famous movie with Sammo Hung, and and a lot of those pictures talk about his mom.
Views on just Instagram. She was the first Japanese bodybuilding and powerlifting champion. She also was in movies and she did stunts, but her story has never really been told properly. 2 years ago, we did an ayahuasca ceremony together. It became very, very clear to me. One of my life's purposes is to help her tell her story the way that she wants it to be told. Even though she broke molds and she became a legend in the eyes of many, there were so many challenges that she came against. And she showed me through practice what it looks like to live a healthy life. I'm almost 30 years old and my parents divorced when when I was 13. So I haven't been able to spend as much time with my mom as I'd like. I never thought that one day we would be posing together and creating content together like this. This is a dream come true for both of us to be able to spend this much time together. We're putting together some cool things for you guys. The first thing we're going to be doing is creating some cool merch, showing off some of the things that she did in Japan. And we're also coming up with some online resources for longevity purposes. And if you want to be part of the legacy that we're creating, generational health is what we want to pass down. And make sure to follow. If you want to stay updated on all the things that we're doing, comment update down below and we'll add you to our email list. So thank you guys for all your support so far. We can't wait to keep creating with you.
That's amazing. You know, her journey from being this young girl in Japan, growing up, and probably inspiring so many other women to get involved in fitness and in bodybuilding. Because like I said again, Japan is very traditional. Even though it's become a lot modern, they still have their traditions. Like I was remembering when I did the live with ladies who did the show in the Masters Olympia in Japan, how you can't walk around eating. You have to have set place to eat. They're very clean because you don't really see trash. It's very. Also, when you go training, like you go to the gyms, like especially gyms here, you see somebody get a tripod and record. You can't do that in the gyms in Japan. You go in there, you take off your shoes, you train, and you can't record yourself training. It's very polite, society and ideals. Mhm. Yeah. So anyway, shout out to my man Ken. He says this. He says, "Son and mother bonding again." Yes. I mean, I remember days when me and my mom used to go and do our little things. Hang out. I miss her too. But also, not just ladies from Japan. We have people also. We have ladies coming from India. And I remember a while back, the Human Bodybuilding Channel interviewed a lady. Her name is So Pretty Akurche. If I got a name wrong, I apologize. And I think she's IB Pro, and she's been competing for a good bit. I believe she had a pro card a couple of years ago. I believe she also made her pro debut. And I'm gonna pull this up here. I've jumped onto the Girls with Muscle site. And here she is. And honestly, you look at her, she said her name is So Pretty. She is pretty. I mean, wow. And people in Indian are considered Asian because they're so close to China and some of the other Asian continents.
That's the what didn't the FBB channel interviewed her one time? She looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. And she was really good.
I don't see her that much though. That's the thing. I rarely see her on Instagram too much. I don't know. Maybe it's my algorithm, but I don't really see her as much as I used to see her.
Well, maybe something happened. You never know. She lives in India, and even though India is, they do bodybuilding, but still not as a popular platform for women compared to other countries.
Yeah, I remember. I talked to a lady a while back. She's from India, but she was living in Dubai, and she was telling me that they have like two divisions in for the women in bodybuilding. If I'm saying that right, but yeah, it's different. Yeah, I know they do that golden spray tan and yeah, but I mean, I like there were some Indian bodybuilders that I liked, women bodybuilders that I liked in there.
Yeah. One lady here is Deepa Sopre, I think Sopre here, and I believe she's also IFBB Pro. I believe she turned pro some time ago. She's from India. I think the last few years there is a growing number of East Indian female bodybuilders. That's picking up. I've also individuals like even physique. Many of them probably do bikini or wellness. One lady who's been a guest on my channel, she's originally she lives in the States, but she's also from India, and that is Visher, and she's a doctor, and she recently just competed at the Atlanta Super Show um, this past weekend. Uh, she's an attractive lady, and I did an interview with her some time ago. And she's a doctor. She's also is a officer in the United States Air Force, and she's also is a coach and a trainer. And you know, it's interesting how some of these different women from different parts of the world discovered bodybuilding. Like one lady who's been a guest on my channel also is Roxy Thunder, and Roxy does wellness as an amateur. She did a couple of shows this year, but didn't get a pro card. She just did an interview some time ago with my man Glenn on the Female Bodybuilding Amazon Fitness forum. But Roxy's an amazing person. She's originally from Philippines. She also works in the realtor in I think around in the East Coast. I believe she lives in Vegas now. But she's a attractive lady. And it's I'm surprised she hasn't got a pro card yet, because she did a couple of shows. She did the Teen Collegiate, that's in Pittsburgh, which is called the
What
Masters.
kind of Asian she is?
She's Filipino.
Filipino? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. I think I remember you interviewing her. Wow.
Yeah. She's an attractive woman, I can't lie. She has a great physique, great lines. I'm surprised she ain't got a pro card yet, but again, the judges are looking for a certain particular thing or whatever they feel like fits the aesthetic for the division. Maybe I feel like she could probably do better if she do figure.
There was another woman we both talked to. She's from Bangladesh, and she's in wellness.
I mean, Sumaya, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she just got married some time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here she is, Sumaya, Sawa, and she just got married a while back. She's from Bangladesh, which is also considered, within the Asian region. She last competed at the New York Pro, and I think it was 2024. And she's also a coach and trainer. Her story was where she went through like abuse within her family. I mean, how she's treated is, she originally was doing figure before she switched to wellness. And, she has I'm a Bangladesh woman who chose an unconventional path. Yeah, think about it. Those countries like Bangladesh, India, what else? What's the country that borders India? I forgot. Pakistan. Those countries are very traditional. That women are supposed to be certain ways, and for her to do something like this, bodybuilding, meaning some people don't think you should even be naked. You're not really naked per se. You still got some clothes. I know one lady who I'm a fan of, Mona Persile. She's Iranian, and she said that she can't go back to Iran because they can kill her because of what she's doing, because she is of Islamic descent. But Samaya is a precious lady. I mean, she's really has evolved. We hope maybe you might see her compete maybe next year. I don't know. I haven't reached out in a while with her, and maybe we might set some up in the future. But this is another example of a woman from a natural, which I would say, an Asian country, doing a sport that's not very traditional.
Yeah, I mean, it's them places are very strict. They not. Y'all remember she was telling me that her parents, her pet family ain't want anything to do with her, because she married somebody outside her ethnic background. So it's you can't really I don't know what to say about it. It is what it is. So I mean, you can't say it's bad or good. It's traditional. There was a time
Mhm.
that things wasn't like that, like as it is now. So
Yeah, like where I'm at, especially in the South, um, in there was like about was it? It was almost 30 years ago where they took when they we made it legal for people of mixed relationships to marry. It was people still do it now, but they finally took it off the books because back in the day, you couldn't be with a white woman, and white men could be with all the black women they want, but they couldn't marry or do anything. There's a movie called The Lovings about a couple. They were from Virginia, and they had to go to, I think, to DC to
it's
get.
the white guy and the black woman. Yeah,
Yeah,
they the one that put it there. They put it in effect with that. But I think if it was the opposite, I don't know. But I'm gonna just leave that alone.
yeah.
So
Shout out to my man here, Ken. He dropped the name here. Her name is Shashiri Kim. Should really come back to Legend, but she is too busy with acting and filming. Yeah, that's a lady I think some people recognize. She, is a bodybuilder from I believe Japan. No, no, China, China,
Korea, she's
Korea,
from
Korea,
Korea. Yeah.
Korea. I thought it was China.
That's the one
Okay.
that she got manhandled by this MMA fighter. It was like a reality TV show or something like that, like the men versus the women. And so I think her and this other dude, they were going to wrestle. The dude manhandled her, and he wasn't as big as she was. She thought that she was going to take him down, but the dude had the upper hand. But yeah, she's from Korea.
Yeah. I believe she competes in another organization. I think she competes in the PCA, and she's impressive. I would say, if she's, I think one thing is if she focuses on her career in the mainstream, doing movies and do reality shows, that's good. But if she feel like she has the inkling to come back, bodybuilding, this is her last time. This was dated back in August. You know, I would, I honestly would like to see her compete in PC and maybe get a pro card. I mean, she has a great look to her, great muscle. I mean, she could do
Where she's
WPD.
at,
Or, hmm?
where she's at, they get more popularity over there than here. Because there's this other woman of like her name was Yeon Wooji, and I had a thing for her like in the 2010s and stuff like that, and she was on TV shows like yeah, and she was more popular, with in Korea. She's from South Korea, and she would come to the United States, but just for competing and stuff, and then she would just go home to where she's at. Yeah, and she would be on like talk shows or dating game shows or something like that. Yeah, they more popular where they at, than if they're here, they ain't gonna really be doing much like that. So
Mhm. Yeah. And it's about, also, yeah, where you're something different. And, where they're like North Korea, sorry, South Korea, she probably gets more attention, get more opportunities. Here in America, it's harder for even, American female bodybuilder to get, recognition and pay attention to. Um, Shout out to a man here, Jeff. He says, "Hey George, I'm going to a place called O2 Fitness. Want to get some abs? Okay, appreciate that. Also, we have if a man Ken says, "Oh yeah, Yeho Jai,
yeah,
forgot
yeah,
about
that's what
her.
I'm talking about. Yeah, he that's the person I'm talking about.
Yeah, well,
They
I forgot her.
on
What about she was around during the during the peak of bodybuilding at the time. What about Brenda Ragnarok? She was a pro around. She was
Yeah,
still
Oh,
yeah, that's on Brad the Ragnarok. Yeah.
she was
Bridget
she was
Ragnar.
not
She
like
was one
that
of
at
my
the time.
favorites. She was Filipino,
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying. She was a top bodybuilder at the time. I mean, okay, wasn't a big, but she was a good athlete at the time too. So
yeah, she had a beautiful physique, great multi-time Olympian herself. One lady, well, I would say she's borderline Asian, but she's from Hawaii, and that was Paul Suzuki.
Mm.
And she had a beautiful physique. Never went to Olympia. That was, you know, I I remember I was looking saying like I thought she had at least maybe one Olympia, in her list in her competition history, but she never went. And she was a power lifter out of Japan. I mean, out of Hawaii. She did pretty good. I mean, she was in uh, top competitor back in the day. Um, she had I would say one person I remember when I took a picture of her and Marilyn Yee put together. Marilyn loved it. She loved the comparison to be compared to Paula Suzuki. Because I see aesthetics, the wide back, the overall muscle detail. I mean, she had a great look to her. I mean, she competed up to the 2000s, and then after that, she kind of just disappeared. I saw a picture of my poster with her. She still looks in good shape, but
Yeah, your
it just
typical bodybuilder that disappears. Now I
Mhm.
said your typical bodybuilder that disappeared. You'd be wondering who they are, where they are, what happened to them.
Yeah. Well, I saw a picture with her was a few years ago. She looked like she's good in health. It happens. Some of these they don't be out too much on social media, but Paulo had one of those great physiques, great look to her. Um, this is I think this is from one of the I think it was a Jankata Classic or probably I forgot which show this was. Just you know, I think she was before her time. I think this is if she was competing today, I think she'd probably be. I could see her doing WPD. Honestly, I think she would do well in WPD.
Yeah.
But so many amazing ladies. One lady, she is wait, what's it? She's one of the American competitors. That's Miss Helen Davis, and she's one of the handful of women that do compete in women's bodybuilding. And she last time she was active was last year. She did the Triple O
triple over.
Dynasty. Yeah, and she's a wife, a mother. Uh,
She's a
I've just seen
power
some stuff on
lifter
social.
too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe she does a lot of power lifting.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
her daughter's currently been training with her too. So she's been getting to the fitness. I don't know if she's still doing it. Maya, her name is.
Yeah, but Patty has been active since 2025. Last time she competed. Um, she still looks great. I mean, she has a good amount of mass muscle. I think she did just the Masters at the Triple O. I think she did all
Mhm.
Masters and Open. I believe she's. I forget. I'm not sure. I think she's. I'm not certain. She never says which she is. She could be easily confused with maybe Filipino, maybe Chinese. If anybody knows what's her ethnicity, you can put in the comment section. But
Yeah, I
she
know
looks good.
she's thick. That's all.
Yeah, she's thick. I mean, um, she lives in the West Coast. She lives in California,
Mm.
so maybe we might see her competing. Because there's only a handful of shows. Well, it's only like other than the Rising Phoenix, says the Steve Carr show. There was the Grand Prix in California, but that's gone because that promoter now is a show for fit model. Hot point. Another impressive woman. Now, another lady who's been a guest, and I'd love to have her back on if she ever has the time. I know she's busy, she's working, and that is Maria Queenie Lieberman, the giant killer. And Maria, she is a really cool lady. I remember at the time we did the interview, she started doing the posing. And she's working. I interviewed one of her clients, Joanne, a while back. You know, and she's also working as a coach and trainer, and also she's doing some stuff on the side, doing some stuff in music videos and stuff like that. Maria's Filipino, and there's a great personality about her. I mean, I enjoyed our interviews we had on. She every so often she jumps on live, and I talked to her a little bit. I hope maybe she lives in Toronto. That she is with a couple of friends. One lady's right there. That's she's competes a bodybuilder, but she kind of stepped away from the competition. You know, but Maria's a great person. I enjoyed the conversations. Uh, she just she just really has a very central personality about herself.
Don't be surprised she do sessions.
I wouldn't be. I mean, what do you think about it? A cute little Filipino woman built like her? I mean, but she does, like I said, she does work and coach other people. She has a client that competes in the IFBB herself. He talked about when she ever think about coming back and compete, because I think the last compete was back in 2023. She did the Masters Olympia. But I think right now she's really building her brand, working on her business. I mean, making her money. But again, she has no rush. But again, Maria just, wow. I think
She a bad girl.
yeah, I think she can do wellness if she wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on the shorter side. I better not be. I'm sitting here drooling at her, but Maria's a great person. I enjoy our conversations, and I enjoyed her.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I wish her all the best. Yeah,
We know.
because yeah. She did a flex performance for me, and
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
know.
have that.
Yeah, we know. You wanted to do more than that. Stop playing.
Well, I couldn't do more than that on because she's all the way in Toronto, all the way
Yeah, but
up in Canada, and I'm
deep in
here,
your mind,
so
you
can't be too
want to,
much.
deep
Can't do
in
too
your
much.
mind, deep in the
You
mental,
can't do too much.
you know
Hey
how
man,
it
you gotta
is.
tell you this. I'll tell you,
Yeah,
this is my
we
shit.
know.
I book this shit.
We
Me,
know. Yeah,
brick by brick,
brick by brick. Yeah, I know.
brick
I
by
know.
brick,
Yeah, I
brick
know.
by brick.
Yeah, I know.
We got here, my man. Shout out to my man. Ken says G Hailey is another. She should, but looks like she's focused on masters now. Yeah, G Hailey. Yeah. Also, another lady mentioned here, Jenny Winkler and Alex Blankenship. And
Yeah.
Alex is actually she's half Korean, half black, so she's a soul sister. Now, Alex was busy. She did a couple of shows this year. She did both the the Tampa Bay Pro and Chicago Pro. She competed in Masters mostly. Alex is she has a great personality about it. It was a great opportunity when I was in Tampa because we're already talking on social media, and then we got to meet and talk a little bit. We were in Tampa. Alex has a daughter. She also does a little designer big suits on the side. So if you're interested, she did took second behind a lady who's competing this weekend, Donna Jones, at the Chicago Pro in the 40 plus class. I think she's a lovely lady. It was a great opportunity to meet her, have on a guest. I think even KO, you got a chance to be interviewed, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I think he was one. KO was the one who put me onto her because he posted a couple of videos about her. I said, "Wow, who's this?"
Yeah. I mean, I like the physique. She was, I like how she looked. Like she's short. She got like the what's the word? Conditioning and stuff and thickness. Yeah, it's like I like how she is. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very social media active. She's doing some training.
Wearing
She's
the
only
skirt,
48.
working out and all that stuff.
I mean, one thing also about Alex, she's a big foodie because if you go into her stories in IG, she'll post cake videos and cupcake videos. She loves that stuff. But she's being of a mixed descent, being both black and South Korean. I mean, she has great genetics. I mean,
Yeah.
you
She used to, not to cut you off, but she used to, she was overweight and she wanted to, better herself. And
that's the thing about bodybuilding. You get into it you get into it like by accident in a way. When you just start off here. Here she did an interview with man David. If you've probably before.
Yeah, I seen that shit.
From
I seen that.
FBB Forum. I cannot talk today, sorry. And I'm here at the Tampa Pro. I'm very pleased to welcome the beautiful Alex Blankenship to the podcast. And you're competing in Masters, right, for today?
Yes, the women's physique Masters 40 class.
Awesome.
Women's physique. I just said that one. Yes.
Awesome. Very cool. That's exciting, but not open today though, right?
Not open.
Okay, very cool. And you competed earlier this year at Chicago?
Yes, I competed same class, same division, women's physique 40 plus Masters at Chicago Pro just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I got second, so one place shy away from the Masters Olympia qualification that I've been gunning for, but
Okay.
we still have work to do. So if not this year, next year.
Terrific. That's awesome. Very cool. That's very cool. And do you have another show planned after Tampa Pro, or are you still kind of in flux?
Nope. We're gonna wrap it up in Tampa. After today, I'm gonna dig into some really good food and get back into my building phase, so that we can work on improving the physique based on judges' feedback, so that we can come back better, stronger, just more refined for next year.
Terrific. Very cool. And where are you visiting from?
Well, I am over on the northeast coast, over in the DC metro area.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, next to the Capitol.
Very cool. That's awesome. That's a great area. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's awesome. And is it your first time in Tampa?
No, I was actually here last year as
Oh,
well.
that's right. You were here last year. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but yeah, I remember. Yeah, I get that. Actually, it's not terrible right now with the humidity and the heat, but it was like you could slice it this morning. It was just the humidity was strong.
Actually, I remember last year was it was just disastrously hot and muggy.
Yeah.
So as soon as you stepped outside, like everybody's hair just went.
Yeah.
You know?
It was crazy, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was insanely hot. So
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of relieved that we're not walking through like just humid and hot, just muggy weather today. So
It's actually a little bit nicer. Yeah, that's a relief. Yeah. So would you mind doing a couple quick poses for me?
Sure.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Where do you want to do them? Right
Oh.
here? Or here?
Oh, here's fun. Yeah, you can do here's good. Oh wow, you look great. Good biceps peak there. Beautiful. Yeah. Your conditioning is really good, Alex. Yeah. Great. I like your abs are really great too. If you don't mind me asking, how tall are you too?
I am 4'8" and shrinking every year.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
You're amazing though.
Age takes away the height little by little.
Oh wow.
I think at some point a few years ago, I might have been like 4'10", and now my 14-year-old daughter has dwarfed me, she's dwarfed me in height at this point. So
Oh wow. That's
it's only
awesome.
going down from here.
No, you look fantastic. Fantastic, though.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really nice meeting you. Thank
Yes,
you.
it was.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's cute.
Yes, cute. But here, I got a problem with it. I know, David, you're my brother. I love you. Why keep touching my girls? Why yo? I saw first David. I'm trying to be cool. He's my brother. I love him, and he has the
I
bad
met
rap.
her
Shout
too.
out
I
to
had no
bad rap.
problem with it. I met her too.
Well, I didn't see you, but now I know that you did it. Then we have a problem. I love you, son. I love you, but you have a problem. But Alex is a precious lady. Hope she does come back to compete. Maybe she'll get her qualification for, the Masters Olympia is coming in 2027. And it's still qualification up to before the show. They have a deadline. But, and also, as my man Ken mentioned, Jenny Welker. And Jenny, she's herself, she is of North Korean. Also, she's British and also of German descent. And Jenny's been a women's bodybuilder for quite some time. She actually on a co called Women's Physique. Not too active lately. I think the last time she competed was in I think it was 2024. She did a couple of shows. She's also a doctor of veterinary. So, that's pretty cool. You know. She has a great physique to her, great look to her. Some of these women, what is it? It's just, even the ones who are mixed, they have that just, you don't think, she looks like a lot younger than she actually is. Well, just wait a minute. My man KL just popped out. Let me just check on him because, he's left a comment here. Shout out to me and KL the Wanderer. He says this. He says, gotta run. I appreciate you, brother, coming through. Shout out here to Ken. He says, nope, Masters Olympia was her last. Oh, okay. So, I know she did I know she did a show. I wasn't trying to see which one, but I'm wondering if she's retired. So she's not competing anymore. Okay. So, so that's the last of her, but it's amazing ladies. And one lady I want to give a shout out to, who's been a guest on my channel, and she actually was one of the ladies outside of Chiro that shared this link. I shared my it's Abby Jimenez, and Abby is from the Philippines, and originally Abby earned her pro card as a physique competitor, but she later switched up to women's bodybuilding. She was going to make her debut regionally in physique. Actually, she's going to make her debut in physique originally, but then she switched over to women's bodybuilding. She was going to make it at the she was on the list for the 2023 Masters Olympia, but she didn't make it. But then she competed last year's Masters Olympia. I got a chance to interview her. Impressive lady, she's a wife and mother. She has a great personality about her. I appreciate her sharing my posts on her social media. And the thing is, she's just a nice smile personality about herself, and how she got into the sport, like so many ladies, because of she was a bit, she was. I remember how she came up and fighting bodybuilding and just getting so into it, dedicated to it, and the people around her really support her. The Philippines, again, they put out quite a few women in this sport, and she's one of the handful of women that do compete in women's bodybuilding.
I definitely see her. She really definitely made the transition. She does have a pretty impressive physique. She has the aesthetic. She almost has the aesthetics down, but yeah, I can tell.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to my man here, Kenneth says, "Oh, I don't know about retirement. Sorry, it is if I misquote. Oh, well, you said last. So sometimes when you say last, it's like if she's done, or maybe that's the last show of the season. But I probably thought retirement because again, it's been 2025. She hadn't done too many other shows since the Masters O, and maybe she's taking a break and focus on next year's Master Olympic qualification. As you know, she can do both Open and Masters. But the list are so many women who compete in this sport, coming from countries like, again, South Korea. I can forget this. There's North and South Korea, because I remember South Korea is an ally of the United States. Mainland China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore. There's a couple ladies one lady who just actually, Dominique Go. Now, Tanya Dominique Go, who just this year, she made her debut in Tampa, and she originally was doing. She actually, excuse me, sorry. She actually she got a pro card in figure, but decided to switch to physique, and she has competed this weekend at the Atlanta Pro, and she also trains a lady who competes in the figure division. That's in my home country, in my home state, Sarah Moline. I remember my man David did interview, said that's her coach, and she's impressive. I mean, she took 6 at Atlanta, and I mean, to hold your own against, like I said, a couple ladies who are Olympic level competitors, so top competitors in the division, and also do well in both Tampa and Atlanta. But she has a great look to her.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, there were so many physique competitors when I was there, but I'm starting to know each one of them. So I'm glad to know that she's getting there. I'm glad to hear that she stepped up a bit this weekend at Atlanta. So
Yeah, she has she has a great physique. I mean, her back, good details. Some say if she keeps going at it, she can possibly go all the way to women's bodybuilding. I mean,
yeah, maybe. Yeah, I could see. It's up to her, but maybe it's a possibility. Yeah, maybe work on the
yeah,
legs more to get a bigger back to get the V shape in. And I think she'll have the aesthetics or the aesthetics.
yeah. Because if you look at it, you can't think about. It makes you think about Paula, how Paula started, and how far she came from originally being a figure competitor to doing WPD, and now she got her first Olympic qualification right after winning 2 shows in women's physique.
Right.
But she's impressive. I mean, I hope she does well. There was also a lady who competes in the figure division, and she's from Japan. I don't want to mess up her name, but she looked very impressive. I sent her the link for the pictures from the show. She thanked me for it. I appreciate that, because she actually made comment on one of the videos I made. But Tanya looks impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
great.
Yes.
Yeah, come up from Singapore. And not just her, there's another lady who I had a guest on my channel, Carol Ung. And Carol also, she really loves, when she said she was very excited. I hope she is watching the live, if because I think Singapore is a different time zone than the United States, and Carol, she actually made her debut last year. She did a couple of shows. Also, she did the women's, she did the Emerald Cup, and did the World Masters Championship. This is her at the World Masters. She was working with Tamika Tucker, did her makeup. I said, this is a beautiful picture. I said, you just share this. Look at the traps. So look at, she has a great look for her. I mean,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, the traps are pretty nice.
yeah. And she actually got her pro card in Japan a couple of years ago. And last year was her IB Pro debut. She did a couple of shows. She was active. Don't know what her plans is for this year. I think with not much going on, she might be just chilling out, because she lives in Singapore, and it's the cost of travel to come here to the States and to compete in shows. Maybe she, the Masters World Championship is around the corner, and that is that's Masters Olympic qualification. So she might jump on that show. And maybe I get to see her if she does that. So I hope we do get to meet, face to face.
Yep.
So anyway, we got a comment. Shout to my man Ken. He says this. Shout to Ken says, yeah, says, oh, can we talk about Young Hung? I think she's so underrated despite winning Omaha. Yeah, we'll talk about it. It says also, this he says, I would like to mention more Chinese competitors, but the instant is hard to find. There, yeah,
We'll be here all
there's so
night.
many
We'll
of
be here
them.
all night if we did.
We'd be here all night if we did, yeah, truthfully. But Young Hung, who just made her U.S. debut at the Omaha Pro, and she looked pretty good. There is a debate that some feel like she maybe shouldn't have won, and I'm a big fan of Marika Jones. I think Marika Jones to me should have won. She wouldn't have to do Toronto, but Young Hung, she is impressive. But I think she's one of those ladies that probably, if she ever thinks about it, could move up to women's bodybuilding. I mean, crazy. Look at this. She was going to do Toronto
She
after
didn't use it.
Omaha. Yeah, and then she decided to say, I'm gonna focus on getting ready for the Olympia. And look at that. Wow.
Definitely
Crazy
bodybuilding.
delts.
She has the master of bodybuilding. I can tell from her arms, the deltoids, the biceps.
Yeah. I mean, question is how's she gonna do? Like once she dives down a little bit and drop a few muscles, it's gonna be a different look. It's one thing when you're bulking season, but after that, the question is, will she make the move?
No, it's up to her, not us.
And like I said, I think so. She should really think about it because But the problem with bodybuilding, especially for the women's bodybuilding division, so few shows, so few opportunities. If she does a show, there's only maybe at most 3 or 4, and there's I would say the Olympia is going to be the end of September. And if you want to do a show and maybe try to see how you do women's bodybuilding, the only show that actually 2 shows that can work in her favor would be Steve Carr. If she doesn't want to come out of the States, she can do the Alina Popa Classic, or she can do, I forget, there's a handful of shows this year, counting Steve Carr. After it's going to be in November. The show in Mexico going to be in October. And the show in Brazil and the Romanian Muscle Fest. And I think Romania is maybe not too far from China. That might be a possibility for her. But she has, I think she's at the cusp for women's bodybuilding. If you look at Sarah, Sarah Bradley. Okay. Yeah. This is a shout to my man Ken. He made a comment here. Shout to Ken. He says this. Yeah. Appreciate Ken for sticking in, brother. He says, yes, take WB for sure. Yeah. Yeah, she could. Folks, I'm gonna do this real quick because I'm hoping, I'm waiting for this if it's out yet. It's the list for Texas, because I don't know if they put it out yet. I'm gonna check it real quick, and then if not, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap it up. There's no Texas, and they just the only divisions they do in that show that really matters to me is physique and figure, and I know a couple ladies who do this show. Most definitely, Jada Beverly. She says she's doing this show. She posted on her other stories that she's already put in her her contract for it, and also Donna Jones. This Texas is her backyard, but nope, the list is not out yet. So probably drop maybe around about 7, 8. Wait a minute. It's dropped. The list has dropped for the Texas Pro. I'm going to pull it up for folks, and we have the list for the Texas Pro. It has officially dropped here. Guys will see who is competing this weekend in the Lone Star State. Here we have the list, and going through here, so there's been 12, and for figure, we have Shanice Abrams, Tamara Barrett, who just got her qualification at the Tampa Bay Pro, Sophia from Kakistan, Jessica Chandy. Wow, this is going to be her third show. Nina Gonzalez from Mexico. Amanda Griffin, this is her backyard of Texas. Natasha Grimm. Jennifer Johnson. Misasaki Kochi from Japan. Michelle McNee. Wow, Michelle. I'm excited about this one. Jessica McWilliams. Andre Jakova. Well, yeah, she need to take a break. Lady Natalie. I heard that Lena Remstead. Gabriella Wickoop. Kelly Summit. Natasha Scruggs. Nancy Wickle, who just also did Atlanta. Paige Woltz, last time she did Chicago. We have Helen from Greece and Lisa Sellier from Germany. And the list for WBD, whoa, we got some Maria Barbar from Uruguay, my dear friend Jada Beverly, Jennifer Dees. I remember Jennifer said she was going to do the show. Mika Farakova. Now, Mika, this one I heard about earlier, but I wasn't certain. We have here is Brittany Gagan Mills, and also another lady, Gina Zaniga, who just both got their pro cards at the USA's. Sharonica Hinton. Sharonica, I hope she does get this. Jeanette Johansson, I heard about her. Our dear friend Donna Jones. Alexandra Carey from the UK. Melissa Keebler. Elisa Kissling. Jordan Lincombe. Gabriella Hartova. Sarah Lowry. Alex Lowell. Alex Lowry. Maylene Nosey from Sweden. I think she just got a pro card. Brooke Piggin. Amanda Powell. And Mariana Van Gecke, who's been a guest on my channel in the past. And that is, I would say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 women competing in WPD this weekend. Congratulations, ladies. I wish Sharonica skipped the show and did the Arizona Pro, but I think she was so close at Atlanta and also at Tampa, she doesn't want to miss that window. But that is the list. So yeah.
For Lisa Kessling, I've heard of her. She's as big as Sarah Bradley. Maybe she kind of looks like she would belong in bodybuilding more than physique. Would you agree?
Yeah. Her posing style is very, I would say, very masculine presenting. If you ever seen it, and it's kind of like Sarah when she did the posing at the Ultimate Classic. He actually competed. She turned pro about this, a little bit right around as Michaela Aycock. They even competed in some same states together because she was living in Florida, she was living in Texas for a bit, and she moved. Shout out to my man here. He says, "I love Zelafaya," that's the name. I mean, I hate to mess it up because Also, shout out to him again. He says this. Ken says Jeanette Johansson is back. Nice, yeah, because Jeanette won this show a couple of years ago. She placed in it, but I remember she got her Olympic qualification at Tupelo. So she hadn't competed since I think that was 2024 when she did Tupelo, and she's coming in here. Also says wow, too many competition. Sharonica has to get really locked in. Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I said I wouldn't have done this show. Between someone like Jennifer, you know, Janetta, a couple other ladies who look like the heavy hitters, but she was close. She was close in the last couple of shows, taking second. It could be, depending on what the judges think of seat. Lika Foucault coming in here who already got her lip qualification. She already saw the contract, so she does the show anyway. She has to do it. But I wish the best luck to Jada. I mean, I hope she does at least crack in the top 10. This is 20 ladies, and some of the ladies are Olympians that's competed at this show. So I wish you all the best, Jada Beverly. Also, can't forget Donna Jones. Appreciate her and what she's been on my channel a few times. Some of these ladies, like I said, there's some few ladies who's been guests on my channel, and I really appreciate and I wish them best of luck. But two ladies making their pro debuts, just freshly after getting their pro cards. I mean, I hope they do well. I mean, they're both impressive. I mean, Brittany and Janine. I was actually talking to Janine on social media. I hope maybe after she does Texas, we could do an interview. Maybe before I go out of town, because I'm planning on the week of just before the week before I leave for Pittsburgh. I'm going to leave House Lord. I might do this. I know you guys love it, but that Monday I might not have Muscle Talk Monday that Monday because I'll be at my sister's house, I don't know if I can find. Maybe I can find some place. I might try to do it. I might try to see if I can work it in. Should let me use a Wi-Fi or not? That's all up to her.
Yeah, I mean, just let us know. Yeah, let me know ahead of time. I'm still available next week, babe. Nah, we can always do it the following week.
Well, we always do it every Monday, so But also, I do usually I do my Sunday roundtable. It's going to be that week before, so so I know I'm not going to be here on Sunday, so we'll probably do it the 23rd. That's the plan. The 23rd for roundtable. He says this one says, no, please do. I'll think about it. Like I said, my sister don't mind her using her Wi-Fi. I'll think about it. Try to think of something we could talk about. Maybe get ready for my trip and my plans and talk about stuff. But I will also, because my trip stuff, I'm leaving on that Wednesday. And it's probably that late Thursday evening, early Thursday morning before I get, the late Wednesday evening, early Thursday morning before I get there because I take a train. And I probably won't leave there till Tuesday because, I want to at least, soak up a little day extra before I come back home. So, I want to enjoy myself a little bit. So we might do Muscle Talk Monday. We talk about Pittsburgh Pro and also, not Pittsburgh Pro, the North Americans and also the World Championships on that day. So, but I appreciate your guests for coming through. Thank y'all. Shout out to my man, KL the Wanderer, who's here. Shout out to my man Josh here. Took the time and sit here and talk with me. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Ken. He's been sticking here, brother. Shout out to Jeff. Jeff, all the best to you, and you're losing weight. Shout out to Emmanuel. Anybody who watched this live, if there's something if you feel like you want to talk about, and let me know. Shoot me a link on my IG or leave a comment in the YouTube. We can hook up. But also, before I leave, I want to show this. I want to give a shout out to a lady who I had the pleasure of interviewing yesterday, the lovely Mrs. Sybil Osmond. And Sybil did something really cool for me. I really appreciate that. Sybil's a nice lady. She is a master bikini amateur in the UK. She's planning on competing to get a pro card in the next few weeks. And she had a home show, which is at another federation called the IBFA, which is the Independent Bodybuilding Federation, Independent Bodybuilding Fitness Association, and it's called the So Pro Night of Champions. She made me this.
Wow.
This is, she actually, if you go into my IG, it's actually from a little thing she made, a little banner she created for our upcoming interview that was that Sunday. And I said, I like that. And she said, you know what? She sent it to me. I saw it this morning when I got into my IG. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. I took it and I put it into my avatar for my IG, and also it's in my YouTube as avatar. It's all the rage, George Page, all the rage, George Page, the emperor of effing facts. You know, I love this. I mean, you know, I appreciate when you ladies do little things for me, like people like Nicole when she sends me these pictures. I got my friend Eunice when she sends me her stuff. I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it sends me. It completes me. So. So what's up for you, kid? What's your plans?
Well, I got a poster. I have a poster to work on. I still need to get some good photos of 10 competitors and all 16 competitors for this week. So I need some time on this one, considering my work schedule and such. But I'll. I'm already. It's already the setup is already done. I just did what I did similar to what I did with Michaela last year. Made a tribute to Hunter Henderson, who won the Atlanta Pro last year. So I just need 10 ladies in front of them, and the new Alt Six do two more posters with eight competitors each, and yeah, I'm good to go for the week.
Well, that's good. That's good. Keep doing what you're doing, son. Keep doing what you're doing. So, folks, thank you, man, K. Wasn't for coming through. Appreciate him. Shout out to man Ken. Shout out to Emerald. Shout out to all who watch this live. I appreciate you. Shout out to the ladies from around the world, from not just from Asia, from Europe to the Middle East. It's hard for them to do bodybuilding because of the what women are treated in that part of the world. Women from Australia, you know, women in South America, women in Canada, women here in the States. This sport is a sport of passion and drive. Anybody gets into it, I gotta give you a shout out. So I appreciate my kid here coming through, sitting with me. Shout out to my man who came through, sitting with me. Shout out to King who came through. The Texas Pro list is already out. I got to work on it. You know, get the pictures together, do my videos, and post it on my social media. Can't wait to see. I'm not going to watch the show because, again, here's my thing. I support shows that support women's bodybuilding, but this show that doesn't. But I will try to keep up, see what's going on. You know, and I wish y'all the best of luck to those competitors coming up this weekend. And also, a lady who's been a guest on my channel, lovely Mrs. Ryan Martin, is competing at the Match Fit. I got to check see if that list is out yet and see who's competing there, and also make a video for that and post it on my social media. So, folks, you got anything to say before we let you go, Boiler?
Nope, I think I'm just want to work on my poster, and oh yeah, I'm probably going to be going to a convention on this coming Sunday. It's something I do every year. It's to see some famous voice actors that I from shows and movies I grew up with. It's nice, you know. Hey, I don't talk about just because I'm a women's bodybuilder. I don't talk about it all the time. I have other hobbies, you know.
That's cool. That's good to have that. You know, I don't think, but this is my bread and butter for right now. So, folks, thank you for coming through. Shout out to the lovely ladies from across the way in the Orient, as they used to say, but it's not the Orient, whatever. But thank y'all for y'all listening to me. This is Mal George Page, aka the Emperor of Film Body Talk. Like, subscribe, good night, good luck, God bless, and I'll see y'all.